Yo, what's good? Top of the Top, episode 228, Stash House Podcast. Your boy Tyler checking in. First time listeners, thank y'all for tuning in. If you tune in weekly, salute. And it's just an episode, some topics you may want to hear about. Salute to you as well. Podcast available on all podcast streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Go out, subscribe, leave comments, reviews, put your people on. All greatly, greatly appreciated. Hope everyone had a safe week, a safe weekend. Continue to do the same this upcoming week. And that's the perfect place for me to start this past Friday. My high school, Russell County High School. Shout out to the county. Shout out to class of 2011. We had our alumni tailgate from all different eras, generations. This is the 5th annual, I want to say they said. But for the past 3 years, you can just see the growth and what we got going on at the county from my class, 2011 to 93, 08. Shit, you got people from the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s. Just an overall great time. No drama, no altercations, none of that. The freedom they give us to operate how we operate with the DJs. You had the little 360 camera. They had that set up. You got barbecue going on, fish fry. You got the kids going around, running, enjoying themselves. Just an overall great time we got going on down in Seal for the homecoming. Class of 2011, I'm here to say we will have a tent set up next year. We'll have some type of setup. We had one last year. We didn't have one this year. I don't care if it's a damn beach tent. I don't care if it's a humongous family reunion tent. We're going to have some type of setup out there next year. I also put on Facebook a couple weeks ago, I would have loved to have a podcast set up, like a own location. It don't have to be live, but just have a camera set up, lights, microphones, people coming up, telling different stories on you, not incriminating yourself or nothing like that, catching up on camera. Just have that set up for about maybe an hour or two, get some content, come back, edit. I would have loved to have that. That would have been the perfect. This past weekend would have been the perfect weekend for it because this year it was like a lot more faces came out. And like I said, each year you see it building. So next year, I'm sure it's going to be the same fun-filled event. And I don't think nobody, y'all can clip this up, put it on Facebook, whatever y'all want to do. I don't think there's nobody in this area from Central to Smith Station to all the different schools in Columbus that can do what we're doing at the county for homecoming, especially with this alumni tailgate. Just the freedom they give us, knowing that you can bring the kids out, knowing that you can allow us to operate in the field behind the football stadium and not have to worry about no commotion, nothing to affect the game or nothing like that, and everybody can go home safely. You know what I'm saying? So I'll stand on that just for the past 3 years in general, what's been going on down the Seal. I'll stand on that. The only thing I say we probably need to tighten up on is the after party situation. That's it. In terms of we need like a solid, if you want to do 2 events, cool, but it needs to be some type of communication like, hey, y'all, what's the for sure thing we need to get involved with? Because by the time I left the tailgate, getting through the traffic and everything, I made a wrong turn. I ended up in the turn. Instead of going to the right to go by the white spot, I made the left to try to go to 431. That's where all the traffic was at. So by the time I got back up to the city, it was about maybe 11:30-ish, maybe. But people was back down the road for the courthouse, and I'm just talking some Russell County shit right now. But people was down at the courthouse, so we was like, okay, if everybody at the courthouse, not many people might be up the road. So that's the only thing, just the after party. And if it ain't no after party, I could just go home, get me something to eat, rub my feet together, and watch ESPN or something like that. But overall, the tailgate was an amazing time. I enjoyed the tailgate overall. It's good to see everybody and see y'all again next year. We exchanged some numbers, so we got to get together. Alumni shit. We older now in our 30s, so alumni shit. So, yeah. So I want to start with that. Now, let's get to some new music. Some new music. We got a new record, Rick Ross, Meek Mill, SHAQ KOBE. First time we heard Ross and Meek on a record together in a while, definitely with just them two. The first song that come to my mind when I think of Rick Ross and Meek Mill collab is the So Sophisticated album from Rick Ross. The So Sophisticated song, I'm sorry, from the Rick Ross album, God Forgives I Don't. One of my favorite Ross albums too, by the way. So it was good to see a glimpse of old MMG. But at the same time, y'all know, I said on this podcast, it just in 2023, I'm just trying to find a reason to listen to new Meek Mill music. Now, granted, this song I'm listening to off the strength of Ross. Supposedly, they got a collab album coming out. I'll listen to that on the strength of Ross. But it's just, I feel like Meek Mill reached his peak when he dropped Championships in 2018. I feel like production-wise, content-wise, internet presence, everything that goes into the Meek Mill package, it all came together perfectly with Championships. And since then, of course, you're going to network, meet new people. I'm not mad at the connections he made. It just, Meek just be doing some bonehead shit sometimes that I just can't rock with. You know what I'm saying? I talked about it a few years ago with the alleged leak with the Kobe Bryant lyric and all that. And fast forward, he got a record called SHAQ KOBE. And it's just certain things Meek do I really just can't rock with. And then just sticking with just the music, it just, the content, he'll go, I don't want to hear mature Meek no more, I don't think. That's an odd thing to say, but I think Championships was the best he can do with that. Like, if I'm getting a Meek Mill, Rick Ross collab album, I want to hear 2012, 2013 type of MMG talk. Like, granted, everybody got money now, cars, houses, whatever the case may be, but you got to make it sound more updated. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way the world operates now isn't how it was back then. So talking about the clubs and popping bottles, that doesn't really do it for me in 2023. So I don't want to hear that type of ignorant, but I don't want to hear too much mature content either. I want to get like a good middle ground, something motivational mixed with, lavish lifestyle. The Rick Ross formula. You know what I'm saying? I think Meek should just sit back and let Ross orchestrate this whole thing. In terms of production, content, let Rick Ross take the wheel and Meek, you just come along for the ride. That's what I want to see with this collab project, if we even get it. Of course, they saying that now. They're doing promotion for this song, but we'll see. But just let Rick Ross just A&R this whole thing, and I think y'all come out on a great side. But I'm still just on the side of, man, I'm really not trying to hear no Meek in 2023. But he with Ross, I will always accept some new Ross. So, I'm teetering on that. That's the main thing I came out with this song. The production on this song is great. Content-wise, it's your typical Meek. It's your typical Ross. It was good to see them two together. Despite the fact how I feel about Meek music or whatever, it was good to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's 2012, 2013 era right there. So it's good to see those two guys back together for the past few years. A lot of people didn't know they were still cool with each other or whatever the case may be. So that's really all I got from this SHAQ KOBE. Just let Rick Ross take the wheel, Meek, come along for the ride, and just stay off the internet. Also with new music, we got a new Cole verse off the Lil Yachty song, The Secret Recipe. And I'll be honest, I skipped Yachty verse and went straight to Cole verse. It seems like Yachty is in that place from what I'm hearing from outside, is that he's getting better compared to 2016, 2017. I've been seeing on my timeline people saying his album is one of the best albums that dropped this year. I can't confirm that. I haven't listened to it. But like I said, who knows? Maybe one day within the next year or so, I'll go back, see what the Yachty hype has been about. But this time, I'm still just one of those people that I'm just cool on Lil Yachty music technically. But when I heard him and J. Cole got a song and people, y'all know when Cole does these features, people go kind of crazy for it. Cole has shown me since 2013, like even before then, really with Friday Night Lights and all that, that Cole can rap. Like we know J. Cole can rap. So when I see people going crazy about these features, I'm like, okay, let me see what he got to say now, because y'all know Cole has been on the feature run for a while now. And this one is no different. He went crazy on it. He had some bars in there. I was like, okay. And people telling me, yo, he's talking about NBA Youngboy. I'm like, man, come on. Even if he is, let's say he is talking about NBA Youngboy, why can't somebody else come out and just be like, okay, I see what Cole doing, but I gotta top that. Why can't JID, who signed to Dreamville, just be like, man, Cole, I like what you did, but I think I could do a better job. It's just the competition, the field. It's just like, man, if J. Cole can do this in year whatever, because J. Cole been around damn near over a decade, if he can still have this type of energy, this type of lyricism, this type of competition to where he can still do things like this on the song with Lil Yachty, why can't the rest of the field do that, man? He not caring about no streaming numbers, nothing like that. He just doing it for the sport. And granted, they making a lot more money nowadays. Streaming era, touring, festivals. It's a lot going on for artists nowadays. But where's the competition at? Where's the nah, I gotta one-up you. It's all fun. It ain't no beef, and ain't no diss record, but I'm gonna one-up you. You can take the same beat, do that formula, put it on SoundCloud, put it on YouTube for free. Just do something, man, to make me be like, okay, some people out here just still doing it for the sport. And there's still people out there. Don't get me wrong, there's still people out there, but when Cole does stuff like this, it just shows like, all right, y'all can do this too, man. It don't take that much work to just, hey, man, if you got a song with an open verse, send it to me. I'm going to knock it out, and we going to put it out, do a video for it. It is what it is. Don't get no politics getting involved. Don't let no record labels stop it. Just make good music. Good music, good lyrics, good bars, some content involved. That's my only thing. And I love, speaking of Jake, I love what J. Cole did in 2019 with the Revenge of the Dreamers. Posse cuts. Posse cuts, man. That's the ultimate. It don't even got to be no one record here, one record there. Let's just do some posse cuts. Let's get about 3 to 5, 6 people on the track. Let the audience say, hey, man, I like such and such verse. Hey, who had the weakest verse? Who had the – because that's the whole thing of posse cuts, especially if you're in the studio together. Oh, damn, I heard what he did. I don't want to rewrite my raps or re-record my raps, but bro went kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? So I miss that aspect of the game. That's what I miss most about the game. Like I'm hearing what Conway doing, 38 Special. You hear what Cole doing, and it's just like, man, it's just some dudes. I'm like, man, I just want y'all to all get in the studio together. That's what I really want. I want the people who I rock with the most to get into the studio. That's why I love to hear J. Cole with Benny last year. Was it last year? Last year. That's why I love to see that. I'm like, okay, damn, finally, Benny and Cole. I didn't see it coming this soon for Benny, but I'm glad it happened. You know what I'm saying? So now I love to see Cole link with Ransom. I love to see Cole link with 38 Special, Conway, the rappers. Let Currency get involved. Find Freddie Gill, see where he at. You know what I'm saying? You still got Jadakiss around. You still got the elite rapper. You still got Nas out here rapping. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I like to see most about the game. And when Cole does this, it just seems like everybody getting such a frenzy about it. I'm like, y'all, Cole been rapping. The biggest knock the outside world probably had on Cole was the production. Now he been on these features runs since, 2018, getting on other people's songs, 21 Savage, Lil Yachty, Moneybagg Yo, whatever the case may be. And you see how he can rap a different type of production. And now with this next album coming soon, you saw what he did with the last album. You saw what he did then. So Cole he in a different mindset right now. He in a different mindset. I think whenever Kendrick pop back out, he's going to be on that same type of time. Because Mr. Morale, the Big Steppers, it was a different dimension. It was a different dimension. He got that one out the way. Now when Kendrick come back, I'm sure he's going to be on the same type of time. I don't know about a feature run, but I'm looking to see what'll happen. And speaking of that, this Friday, supposed to get the Drake album for all the dogs. I just need a track list. I wish I had the track list now. I need the feature list and I need the track list, and that'll let me know everything I need to know. And if I'm just giving my expectations, I really don't have any. I didn't like the record with SZA. It's been a while since I've really been crazy about a Drake album. Like I said, the last one I was like satisfied with was CLB, but I still think he toned it down a little bit. He has some records on there now. I ain't saying he has some records on there, but I get it, you on tour, you're selling out concerts, arenas, I get it. but get a little bit uncomfortable. We see what Cole can do. Cole is comfortable, but you got to still show, yo, I'm still here for the competition. I feel like Drake just been coasting for a long time. And we'll get songs here and there. Like, even though I didn't like Her Loss, he had Middle of the Ocean, you know what I'm saying, Privileged Rappers. He'll throw a song out or something that I'm like, okay, it's still there. But in terms of albums, it hasn't been all the way locked in. Scorpion, well, I edit Scorpion. Y'all know that. Out of all the songs, one side rap, the other side R&B, I've cut it down to about 12 songs altogether. But the ones I cut down, you can hear it. But that's 2018. I would love for All the Dogs to be some type of, Drake back in that mode. I doubt the whole album will be like that. I'm sure you're going to have some songs on there I like. I'm sure he's going to have a rapping song on there. It's like, okay, he still got it, but in totality, it just needs, at least give me better than a 75 approval rate. If it's 16 songs, at least have me be like, okay, I like 11 to 12. Don't put out a 16-song album, something like that, and I'm like barely enjoying half of the records. But for All the Dogs, it been pushed back. He been on tour, but he dropped the record with SZA that I was like, damn, for the first time, Drake, SZA, this is what we get? I'm hearing possible Yeet feature. So, like I said, when I see the track list and the feature list, I know. Personally, I do not want to see another Drake and Friends. Like, we heard enough Drake and Future. We heard enough Drake and Dirk. I done heard enough Drake and Lil Baby. I done heard enough of it. Really, I know SZA going to be on there, but really, I would love just to see Drake and Ross and Drake and Party Next Door. Honestly. If SZA on there, the only two features I want to see is Drake and Ross and Drake and Party. Everything else just need to be Drake solo. Just clear it out, man. Like, we get it. You got friends in the industry. We get it. Even though you say there's no friends in the industry, but it is what it is. But come on, man, Drake, get a little bit uncomfortable, man. You got the power to do it. Just make the scene a little uncomfortable. We see what Cole on. And you know you got the killer, Kendrick Lamar, in the cut, just living life at the moment with no phone and all that, like he said. So we'll see. For All the Dogs should be coming out this Friday. We'll see how it goes. To wrap up this episode, Ohio State, this week we have Maryland. Coming off a bye week, could possibly be a trap game, not in terms of losing, but just one of those where the competition may be a little bit more difficult than expected. But I believe we'll come out on top. Kyle McCord, after his showing at Notre Dame, going to the bye week, he should be well rested. Mindset should be right. Like I said before, let's get Marvin Harrison Jr. more involved, put him in the slot, get him some wide receiver sweeps. We got to get the ball in Marvin Harrison Jr. hands. I expect a lot more out of Marvin Harrison Jr., definitely more than at least 5 receptions this game. Ibuka continue to do his thing. Let's get the tight ends involved. Running backs, Travion Henderson, Chip, Mayan Williams. Let's get those guys going. And defense, create turnovers like I always say. And I believe we'll be all right. But my main thing this week against Maryland could be a trap game. But I believe the Buckeyes will come out on top. This has been episode 228, Stash House Podcast. Make sure you guys go out. Have a great work week, a great school week. Stay safe. Be aware of your surroundings. Keep me in your prayers. I'll do the same for y'all. Salute.